Okay, ready to go live?
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to WCBN Sports presentation of Michigan baseball. The Wolverines set to take on the visiting Nebraska Cornhuskers in just a few moments here. Alongside Adam Bressler, I'm Jared Greenspan, live from Ray Fisher Stadium inside the broadcast booth. Michigan and Nebraska, the Wolverines come in red hot, winners of 12 of their last 15. They sit atop the Big Ten, tied for first with Indiana, but Nebraska not too far behind, tied for third place with a 16-9 record. Adam, this is going to be a very highly contested series, kicking off with a great matchup this afternoon.
Yeah, both teams come into this game with only one conference loss, so we know that won't stand for one of these two programs. Both of them have been very dominant over the last half decade, very strong, especially Michigan coming off of the Big Ten tournament title, looking to maintain that, while Nebraska have been dominant to their own over the past time span. Nebraska comes to Ann Arbor for the first time since 2016. It's been quite a moment. Came on this beautiful early April day to begin a 3-game weekend series. And you can't ask for much nicer weather, especially in Ann Arbor in April.
Picture perfect with blue skies, and the matchup to watch today is going to be Connor O'Halloran, Michigan's left-handed pitching ace, against Nebraska's bats. The Cornhuskers boast a potent offense, and both O'Halloran and Nebraska's hitters will be put to the test in just a little bit.
So coaches are meeting at the plate with the umpires, getting ready to come on out to the field. Got standard lineup for Michigan on a Friday with O'Halloran on the mound, and standard batting lineup as well. Velazquez batting at fourth, a little bit higher than he has been earlier this season. And we got Kim in the 9-hole, which has been a spot he's excelled at. Started off very hot, still batting .456. But waiting for the freshman to cool down a bit. And until then, he'll be at the, what do they call it? The original leadoff hitter when they wrap on around.
Very much so, and let's set the starting lineups for you first for the visiting team, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska enters play at 16-9, nipping on Michigan's heels. Tied for third place in the Big Ten, and the Cornhuskers rely on their high-powered offense, leading the Big Ten in both batting average and slugging percentage. Bryce Matthews leads off for Nebraska and plays shortstop. Dylan Carey in the 2 spot right behind him at third base. Max Anderson and his cool .413 batting average hits third and plays second base. Anderson, one of 2 Nebraska hitters, hitting over .400. Gabe Swanson bats cleanup in man's left field. Swanson hits it at a .288 clip. That's the lowest of all 9 players in Nebraska's order today. That pretty much sums up the potency of this lineup. Ben Columbus sits in the 5-hole and plays first base. Josh Caron bats 6th and plays catcher. Garrett Englum hits 7th as the designated hitter. And Cole Evans is in the 8th spot and in right field. And right behind him, Casey Burnham rounds out the starting 9 in center field. Emmett Olson takes the mound for the Cornhuskers. Left-handed pitcher, sports a 3.37 ERA to his name. He's made 7 starts. Nebraska's won all but one of them. 42 2/3 innings pitched, struck out 44. Opposing hitters hit just 197 against him. So Michigan has its work cut out for itself today against Emmett Olson, and the Wolverines come in red hot, winners of 12 of their last 15 games. Under first-year head coach Tracy Smith, they really managed to flip the script. Cody Jeffress, the stalwart at shortstop. He's played all 28 games at shortstop and in the leadoff hole, and he'll do the same this afternoon with Ted Burden right behind him batting second base. Burden leads the team with a is second on the team with a .301 batting average. Joe Longo batting third in left field. He's been playing more left field lately with an eye towards Jimmy Obertop returning. Joey Velazquez bats fourth and plays right field. Tito Flores, who had a 3 RBI day on Tuesday, bats fifth as the designated hitter. Jack Van Remortel bats sixth and plays first base. Mitch Voigt The freshman sensation is right behind him, batting 7th and manning the hot corner. Gabe Sotrace catches today and hits 8th. And then Jonathan Kim, the freshman sensation and reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, hits 9th in center field. And as I mentioned just a few moments ago, the Wolverines are sending Connor O'Halloran, its unquestioned ace, to the mound. He gets the ball for the pristine Friday spot for his 8th start of the season. The lanky left-hander sports a Big Ten best 2.09 ERA and 47 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 59 batters compared to just 11 walks. And just like Nebraska with Olsen, Michigan tends to win with O'Halloran on the mound. They've won all but one of his starts this season, and he'll look to set the tone this afternoon for a big 3-game set between the Wolverines and Cornhuskers, 2 of the top teams in the Big Ten Conference. Michigan taking the field just now with O'Halloran on the mound to begin his warm-up pitches. The Wolverines wearing the clean all-white uniforms on a sun-soaked Ray Fisher Stadium. Nothing but blue skies, a little bit of clouds, but a beautiful day for baseball.
Yeah, these are the days that you expect when you think of baseball season, and unfortunately in Ann Arbor and a lot of the Big Ten, you don't get too many of these until the final stretch. But it's nice to get an early taste of that. Knowing Michigan weather, I know not to count winter out just yet. Always comes in with a final punch. But with that at 4:01 p.m., temperature of 51 degrees Fahrenheit, we get ready to begin this Game 1 of this 3-game weekend series against 2 of the top teams in the Big Ten standings.
And as O'Halloran completes his warm-up pitches, we'll take you quickly around Michigan's defensive alignment this afternoon. It's Alongo Kim Velasquez left to right in the outfield, Mitch Voigt at the hot corner, Cody Jeffress at short, Ted Burden at second, and Jack Van Remortel at first, and the battery of Sotrace and O'Halloran. 4:01 p.m., just about ready for first pitch between Michigan and Nebraska. Wolverines winners of 12 of their past 15 games, entering this crucial opener of a 3-game set between the Wolverines and Cornhuskers. Bryce Matthews, right-handed hitter, takes one last hack, gets ready to dig into the box. Connor O'Halloran is all set. He's standing on the mound as Matthews, right-handed hitter, leads us off today, hitting .404 on the year. The junior shortstop steps in against Connor O'Halloran, kicks and deals. His first pitch is swung on and hit in the air towards right field. Velasquez drifting back. He'll have room a few feet away from the track. He'll make the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out to begin the afternoon for Connor O'Halloran.
Regardless of what you think of O'Halloran, he is efficient by all means necessary, whether it's a quick strikeout or a quick flyout. He gets the job done.
Dylan Carey steps in, another right-handed hitter. Max Anderson in the 3-spot looms on deck. Outfield, infield, straight up. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. You'll see that fastball, curveball, changeup repertoire out of O'Halloran. The lanky left-hander has thrown at least 6 innings in all 7 starts. Here's the 0-1. Ripped into left field, or ripped towards left field. Jeffress on the backhand. The one-hop throw across the diamond is dug out by Van Remortel. Great play by Cody Jeffress, the shortstop. He's so sure-handed. Hasn't made an error in his last 17 games, and he's up for the task there on that line drive from Carey. 3
pitches and 2 outs here. Already cruising to another 6+ inning outing.
The sun is something to watch for today. No clouds to cover it this afternoon as the first pitch from O'Halloran comes in low and in. A ball to Max Anderson. Hits it at a .413 clip with a .780 slugging percentage. One of the top hitters in the Big Ten. O'Halloran's 1-0, pulled on the ground towards short, and this one will find the hole. Gets past Jefferson to left field, and so Max Anderson, the hitting machine, keeps on raking. And the Cornhuskers have a 2-out base runner.
Almost exact same position as the previous ball in play, just depending on defensive positioning. Michigan shortstop Jeffress unable to get to it this time.
Gabe Swanson, another right-handed hitter. 4 righties to begin the day against O'Halloran. Steps in. O'Halloran's first pitch misses inside a ball, and it's 1-0. Anderson, the runner at first, not much of a threat to steal, hasn't stolen a bag this season. Takes a small lead off of first. Outfield plenty deep against the cleanup hitter Swanson. O'Halloran deals. And that's popped up on the right side. Velasquez in right field has it lined up, makes the catch. And Connor O'Halloran is through the first unscathed. No runs, a hit, one left, heading to the bottom of the first. No score between the Wolverines and Cornhuskers.
Keeps it efficient. Only a handful of pitches and already bringing up Michigan to the plate.
It's interesting to see how Nebraska attacks O'Halloran this afternoon and what the Cornhuskers' game plan is. So far, after 4 batters, it's a lot of early hacks, not wanting to get late in the count against O'Halloran, who struck out 59 batters in 47 1/3 inning pitched.
If Michigan, I know there's a lot of question marks about this team. New coach, a lot of player turnover. But if Michigan makes another run like they have in the past couple of seasons, it's going to be off the arm of O'Halloran. He's the one consistent bright spot in Michigan's rotation and in their pen. And if they want to make a run in Omaha, either initially in the Big Ten tournament or potentially in the NCAA College World Series, it would be off of his success.
No score as we head to the bottom of the first here between the Wolverines and Cornhuskers. The big Friday afternoon pitching duel between Connor O'Halloran and Emmett Olson. Olson looking to match the 0 that O'Halloran put up in the top of the first. Olson, another left-handed pitcher with a 3.37 ERA. He's 5-1 on the season, 42 2/3 innings pitched, 44 strikeouts. Hitters hit just 197 against Olson. Completing his warm-up pitches now. Michigan will send up Jeffress, Burden, and Longo, 1, 2, 3 in the batting order. That's been the recipe this season for Tracy Smith. Penciling those 3 names in the lineup card day in and day out.
Yeah, it's a good starting lineup if Michigan wants to compete with top teams in the Big Ten, such as Nebraska. They need to crack open the Cornhuskers very early.
Jeffrey's left-handed hitter steps into the box. Olson, left-handed thrower, kicks and deals a first pitch fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. Well, Jeffries is hitting just .250 on the year, but in the last 16 games, that figure is up to .317 as the 1-0 is cut on and miss. A fastball, and it's 1-1. You'll see that blazing fastball from Olson top out at around 92 miles an hour. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Jeffress comes up empty at a 92 mile an hour fastball, and it's 1-2. Jeffress, then Burden and Longo, 1, 2, 3 in the first here for the Wolverines as they look to crack Emmett Olson, who deals the 1-2 in the dirt, smothered behind the dish by Karen, and it's 2-2. Infield, outfield, straight up against the left-hand hitting Jeffress. Here's the 2-2, and Jeffress fouls it straight back. Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Not a ton of strikeouts early in this season from Jeffress. Puts in play a lot, not always for a hit, but doesn't go down without a fight.
The 2-2, and Jeffress lifts it towards left center. Burnham shading over in the gap. He's called off by Swanson in left center, who makes the catch. So Emmett Olson has his first out of the afternoon. Jeffress retired on the pop fly, and Ted Burden comes to the dish.
Wind is very light so far. Flagpole and left center is completely down low. Slight breeze from right to left.
First pitch to Burden, just misses off the outside corner, a ball, and it's 1-0. And Burden, much like Jeffress, has really picked it up over his last 16 games as the 1-0 is chopped back towards the mound. Olson off to get it, fires over to first. That's an easy play for the left-hander, and he makes it easily for the second out of the inning.
Both of these teams moving so quick in this first inning. Nebraska was able to break out of that with a 2-out single. See if Michigan could match that with Longo stepping up to the plate now.
Olson into the windup. Here's the first pitch to Longo. It's fouled straight back, a fastball, and it's 0-1. Longo hitting at a .291 clip. Perhaps most interestingly is he's in left field again this afternoon. Here's Olson's 0-1. Breaking ball misses low, 1-1. And Longo getting those reps in left field, perhaps with an eye towards Obertop returning. Here's the 1-1. Sits low. 2-1. Jimmy Obertop, the big bopper, one of Michigan's best hitters last season, has missed all of this season so far. The 2-1. High pop-up down the right field side. Columbus over, and he'll guide it out of play.
Fisher's known for not having much of foul territory, especially stretching down the line. See a lot get into the pins on either sides or even the parking lot.
And that one thudded off the sidewalk, so it spares cars for the moment. Joey Velasquez on deck if Longo is able to reach. Olson looking for a 1-2-3 first. Here's the 2-2. Misses inside, a ball just off the plate, and it's 3-2.
Decent contingent of Husker fans made the trip out. See a lot of cream and red in the stands at Fisher.
Olson deals the 3-2. It's low, ball 4. And Joe Longo works himself a 2-out walk to bring Joey Velasquez to the plate. So both pitchers, Olson and O'Halloran, now have surrendered a 2-out base runner in their first frame of work. It'll be the left hand hitting Velasquez against a left-handed Olson. And Velasquez got off to a terrible start this season, but he's rebounded a little bit ever since then. First pitch, breaking ball that buckles Velasquez's knees, and it's over for a strike, 0-1. Longo with a short lead off of first, not really a threat to run. Olson peers home, now deals. The 0-1 fouled straight back, good cut by Velasquez, and it's 0-2. So Olson, who averages about a strikeout per inning, doing a nice job pounding the strike zone so far this afternoon. That walk was just his 10th walk on the year. Here's the 0-2. Velasquez lays off, and it's smothered by Karen. 1-2. So O'Halloran has only walked 10 batters this season, and now Olson has walked 10 batters. So expect these two pitchers to be pouring in strikes. Olson comes set. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. A beautiful curveball from Emmett Olson to freeze Velasquez. No hits, no runs, 1 left, and at the end of 1, the pitcher's duel is on. No score between Michigan and Nebraska.
Clocked in at 75. That changeup was a thing of beauty. Looked like it would clear well high, and at the last possible moment, dropped on down right into the mitt, and sending Velasquez back to the bench to close out the bottom of the first inning.
Just a picture-perfect pitch there.
Picture-perfect pitch and a picture-perfect day here in Ann Arbor.
And a great matchup between these two teams, the Wolverines and the Cornhuskers. Let's get you up to speed a little bit with what Nebraska brings to the table. They lead the Big Ten in batting average and slugging percentage, and they rank 2nd in home runs. They have 7 players in the starting lineup batting above 300, including 2 above 400. And yet for all the offensive prowess, the Cornhuskers pitching staff is no slouch either. They're 2nd in the Big Ten in team ERA and 1st in WHIP. So base runners and runs likely to be at a premium today, with Olson and O'Halloran going up against one another.
Yeah, the fans are still coming on in on this Friday afternoon game. Always see some late attendance on these game ones of the weekend series. Students coming out of class, families bringing their children after a week of school, especially probably the first beautiful day of 2023. No better time to do it than now. If I had to guess, probably a couple hundred fans here in attendance. And as I mentioned earlier, handful of Cornhusker fans made it out. That's a long drive.
And Connor O'Halloran ready for his 2nd inning of work in a scoreless ball game in the top of the 2nd between Michigan and Nebraska. Ben Columbus, left-handed hitter, steps into the box. O'Halloran kicks the dirt and deals a first pitch fastball that misses above the letters for ball 1. Well, O'Halloran faced 4 right-hand hitters to begin the day. Columbus the first lefty to step in the box against him. O'Halloran into the windup. Here's the 1-0. That rides high, 2-0. Columbus, a 309 hitter, the first baseman in today's ball game. O'Halloran works around a 2-out single to pitch a scoreless first. Takes a breath, now deals the 2-0, and Columbus smokes it towards right, hooking down the line, foul.
I'm still waiting for the first strikeout for O'Halloran. As you mentioned, 59 on the season, especially only a couple weeks into Big Ten play. That's huge. Nothing so far.
Here's his 2-1. Inside corner for a strike, went to the changeup, and it's 2-2. O'Halloran looking for his first out here to begin the second. Here comes the 2-2. Chopped back towards the pitcher's mound. So Trace out to get it, fires to first for the first out of the inning to retire Columbus.
Again, remaining efficient. Getting the balls in play for these weak hits that could be flipped on over to the first baseman. And Michigan is making their way through the Huskers lineup quite quickly.
Josh Karen, the catcher and a right-handed hitter, steps into the box. .322 hitter on the year. O'Halloran comes set. Here's the first pitch. Low and in. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire Michael Wiseman. Your umpiring crew is Jason Stidham behind home plate, Michael Wiseman at first, Nathan Thompson at second, and Stephen Linton at third. 1-0 the count to Karen. Here's O'Halloran's pitch. Just up and in, a fastball, it missed, and it's 2-0. So for the second batter in this inning, O'Halloran has fallen behind 2-0. Was able to retire Columbus. Here's the pitch to Karen. Lifted in the air towards right center. Kim slicing over in the gap. He calls off Velasquez and makes the one-handed catch.
O'Halloran, even when he gets behind, he doesn't lose composure and he remains in control. We've seen it at several points, the last two batters, in fact. Not letting it turn into a mind game. Just sticking with his stuff, mixing in the fastball with the changeup.
Garrett Engelum, the hitter. O'Halloran's first pitch misses low and away, 1-0. Engelum, the designated hitter. Another righty against O'Halloran, just two lefties in the Nebraska lineup today. Engelum, a .381 hitter, making his 12th start of the year. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, doesn't matter. It was a strike on the bottom of the zone, and it's 1-1. O'Halloran working efficiently so far. Retired 5 of the 6 batters he's faced. That fastball misses up and away, and it's 2-1. Cole Evans on deck if Engelum is to reach. Outfield straightaway, medium depth. Jefferson Burden playing back up the middle. Here's the 2-1, low and away, ball 3. So O'Halloran, who doesn't walk many hitters, has now fallen behind 3-1 on Engelum. Looks toward the sign. And now deals the 3-1, cut on and miss. A fastball at the letters that Engelum swings right through, and it's 3-2.
Count comes full with 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here.
O'Halloran eyeing a 1-2-3 inning. Here comes the full count pitch. Way upstairs he walked in ball 4. So in the bottom half of the first, Emmett Olson walked his 10th batter of the year, and now in the top of the second, O'Halloran walks his 11th to give the Cornhuskers a 2-out base runner.
At the start of this game, you mentioned how both pitchers don't walk very often. Feel like you might have jinxed it there with 1 apiece as we're 8 outs into this game.
Well, we're both very familiar with the announcer's jinx.
Oh, I've done it way too many times.
First pitch to Evans. Fouled off down the right field side. That'll sail towards the parking lot, out of play. Nearly hit 2 pedestrians who were walking along the sidewalk there, but they are A-OK. No score, top of the second between Wolverines and Cornhuskers in this opening game of a pivotal 3-game set. O'Halloran comes set, but first to throw to first, as Engelum is back in safely. Englund with decent speed. He's stolen 2 bags on the year. Evans at the dish is a .350 hitter. O'Halloran looks towards first. Now delivers home. Lifted deep towards right center. Velasquez easing back. He'll have a play on it. Waits for it to come down and makes the one-hand catch. So O'Halloran works around the 2-out walk to pitch another scoreless frame. We're heading to the bottom of the second in Ann Arbor. No score between Michigan and Nebraska.
Both innings so far given out a 2-out base runner. Different circumstances between the hit and the walk, but still remaining firmly in control. What I'm surprised about, I mentioned this earlier, just no strikeouts yet so far. It's his strong suit, and you love to see him be able to get the job done regardless, but I think that really separates Nebraska from some of the programs we've seen earlier this season for the Wolverines. Penn State and Illinois, the 2 teams that Michigan has faced, are solid programs, but they're no Nebraska.
O'Halloran will take any outs he can get today against such a tough Nebraska lineup so far through 2 innings. Certainly up for the task, even if that's without any strikeouts.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good time between innings to bring us over to the standings. Michigan and Indiana tied at the top, each with a 5-1 record in conference. Michigan State closely behind with a 4-2, and then you have a trio of teams tied at 2-1, including Nebraska, along with Minnesota and Maryland. Many of these teams only have 1, maybe 2 Big Ten series, so it's tough to make any sweeping judgments about how the conference might shake up. But Michigan's in good position so far.
Tito Flores steps into the box to lead off in the bottom of the second. Emmett Olson on the mound, toes the rubber and deals. First pitch to Flores, hammered towards left center. Over in the gap goes Burnham, and he makes the running catch. So Flores struck it well, but Burnham had it lined up perfectly. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second for Olson, as he looks to keep up his end of the pitcher's duel in a scoreless game. Jack Van Vermortel steps into the box for Michigan, taking his time as he fastens his batting gloves one last time, eyes his bat, now steps in. Olson's ready. Here's the first pitch. Misses outside with a fastball, 1-0. Olson is in a groove right now. You could tell he was just waiting. And it's 1-1. 92 miles an hour again on that fastball for Olson. Second team All Big Ten last year. Delivers the 1-1. Breaking ball misses low. 2-1. Olson was a hybrid pitcher last year. Made 8 starts, but also plenty of relief outings. Pitched to a 2.86 ERA. The 2-1 clubbed foul, and it's 2-2. This year, he's acted exclusively as a starter, and he's earned that Friday nod from head coach Will Bolt. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Van Vermortel pops it up on the right side of the infield. Hoog's got it. Anderson, the second baseman, calls off Columbus. On the infield dirt, squeezes it with the right hand for the second out of the inning.
Remaining quick, and Michigan is looking for their first hit of the game early in this one.
Well, Olson holds batters to just a 197 batting average, so we knew hits would be at a premium. First pitch misses low to Mitch Voigt, a ball, and it's 1-0. Voigt, the two-way freshman phenom, hits 295 on the year. The 1-0, cut on and miss, a fastball at the letters, but it's 1-1. And Olson continues to deal. As Voigt steps out of the box, steps back in. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss at another fastball. And it's 1-2. Both pitchers on each side looking sharp. The 1-2 pitch on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Olsen works an easy 1-2-3 frame. We're heading to the third from Ray Fisher. No score, Wolverines and Cornhuskers.
Voigt had no choice but just to look and stare at that last one. He knew he was rung up after it hit the glove. Honestly, after it crossed the plate, regretting not taking the bat off of his shoulder.
And we've seen how dominant Connor O'Halloran has been this season for the Wolverines. But in our first look at Emmett Olsen, he has been as advertised. So far, faced 7 batters, allowed just 1 to reach. That was the walk to Longo with 2 outs in the first. And especially in that second inning, just looks to be in total control on the mound.
Certainly. So we got the third frame coming up for the Wolverines. We'll get the 9-1-2 hitter with 2 runners stranded by Nebraska so far.
We'll see it. Connor O'Halloran has worked 2 scoreless frames. He's given up a pair of 2-out base runners, a single in the first via Anderson and a walk to Englam in the second. It'll be 9-1-2 to greet him here in the top of the third.
This isn't the only diamond sport happening in Ann Arbor today. We got softball preparing for first pitch at 5. Filing in across the diamond from us on Alumni Field, soon to be Carroll Hutchins Stadium. I think the official announcement will come in 2 weekends on the 22nd. Makes total sense after completely carrying this softball program for the better half of 4 decades.
O'Halloran at the belt. Here's his first pitch to Casey Burnham. Curveball misses outside, 1-0. Burnham, left-handed hitter, the second lefty in the lineup against the lefty O'Halloran. The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. Voigt in at third against Burnham. He's got some speed, hits it at a .333 clip. Outfield straight away, but shallow. The 1-1 pitch, and that's outside and away. Ball 2, Burnham flash bunt, then pulled it back as Voigt continues to play just about even with the bag at third. Van Remortel right behind the bag at first, guarding the line. O'Halloran ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Lifted towards right center, chasing Kim and Velasquez back in the gap. Kim on the run, looking up. See ya! A long home run for Casey Burnham. That ball kept on going. And Burnham tags O'Halloran to put the Cornhuskers on top, 1-0.
Just kept sailing. We've been expecting those balls to get caught all afternoon so far. By the time it landed, it was about 5 feet over the right center fence. And Kim had no choice but just to look up and stare. Cracking this one early. We were wondering when it would happen.
And Nebraska strikes first in this vaunted pitcher's duel. Here's the first pitch to Matthews. That's pulled into left field, down for a base hit. Longo gets to it on a couple of hops, tosses it in, and Bryce Matthews hitting over 400 on the year. Make sure his average stays that way with a base knock off O'Halloran. So O'Halloran is being tagged by the Cornhuskers here in the third. First, the home run by Burnham, well out towards right center that gave the Cornhuskers the lead, and now the single by Matthews. Here's Carey, first pitch, lifted in the air towards center. This one's playable for Kim, who trots in a few strides and makes the one-handed catch for the first out of the inning.
So 2 quick hits and a third one put in play, but this one caught by Kim successfully.
And we've seen this from Nebraska's offense, a lot of early swings, not wanting deep counts against O'Halloran. It's part of the reason why he's yet to strike out a batter. Well, here is the phenomenal Max Anderson, whose average is up to .418. First pitch, popped foul down the right field side out of play. Anderson ripped a single through the 5-hole into left field back in the first. That was the first hit of the game on either side. Matthews, the runner at first. O'Halloran's got to pay attention there. Matthews has stolen 12 bags on the year. O'Halloran peers towards first, now comes home. And he misses low and in, a ball, 1-1.
The real question for this game and this outing for O'Halloran is, sure, he gave up that home run. Can he get recomposed and back in it quickly?
He deals the 1-1 home. Anderson slices it towards right field, chasing Velasquez over. He's on his horse, right at the wall, reaches back to make the catch in foul territory. That ball kept cutting foul, but Joey Velasquez, who almost overran it, is able to reach back and make the nice catch for the second out.
The two-sport athlete showing his speed as he guns that one down in pretty much the furthest extent to this ballpark you could possibly get.
Impressive play by Velasquez, who's looking nimble in right field. First pitch to Swanson, fouled straight back, and it's 0-1. So O'Halloran continues to pound strikes. Nebraska continues to swing away. It's 1-0 Cornhuskers here in the top of the third. Nebraska struck to begin the inning with a leadoff home run by Casey Burnham to take the 1-0 lead. O'Halloran looks on towards first. There goes Matthews. The pitch home is a ball, and Sotrace dropped it on the transfer. So it's a stolen base for Bryce Matthews, his 13th swiped bag of the year.
I was doubtful he'd even throw it down without the fumble, but that all but did it when he dropped it on the transition.
And so now O'Halloran has to contend with a runner at scoring position as Matthews leads off second with 2 away. 1-1 is the count to Swanson. A base knock would almost certainly score Matthews. O'Halloran looks back towards second, now deals home, and he catches the inside corner on a curveball. It's a strike. 1-2. Burden, the second baseman, is shaded a bit towards the bag, leaving a big hole on the right side of the infield for Swanson. O'Halloran a strike away from allowing just 1 run. Sets at the belt. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing, did he go? He won around, strike 3. There's that first strikeout of the day for Connor O'Halloran, who settles down after allowing the home run. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left in scoring position. We head to the bottom of the third. Michigan in a 1-0 hole.
So through a third of this game, pitching-wise for O'Halloran, has 1 walk and 1 strikeout and 1 run given up. Guess you could extrapolate that for a full game. It would be a 3.0 ERA, solid. But only 3 Ks, which he's averaging much more on strikeouts per 9.
Well, in this Friday pitcher's duel, O'Halloran has cracked first. We'll see if the Wolverines can get to Emmett Olson, who has looked very comfortable towing the rubber through 2 innings today. He's limited Michigan to just 1 walk through 7 batters. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Michigan order. Sotrace, Kim, and Jeffries against the lefty Olson.
We got a youngster relay race happening. Where they're, I guess, playing rock, paper, scissors and then running down the baseline.
Do you feel snubbed?
A little bit. If I didn't have this headset on, I'd be right there with them.
Feel free to join. I'll keep your seat warm.
One thing to note about Fisher, and this is unique at least in my view, I don't know a whole wide range of college stadiums, but it is 100% AstroTurf, and that includes the infield, that includes the base paths, that includes the pitching mound and the batter's box too. Not a single lick of dirt in the diamond. On a bright day like this, you get a lot of shine right into our eyes.
First pitch to Sotrace on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 as Emmett Olson kicks off the bottom of the third with the strike. Olson staked to a 1-0 lead. Here's the 0-1, breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 0-2. Nebraska struck first in this pitcher's duel with a solo shot off the bat of Burnham to begin the top half of the third. Here's the 0-2, breaking ball, a whiff and a miss by Sotrace. 1, 2, 3, down he goes. A 3-pitch strikeout for Emmett Olson, who is dominating at the moment.
And Olson has 3 strikeouts already. Curious to see if Kim's able to make anything happen. Mentioned this in the pregame, leading the team with a 4.56 for the freshman.
Here's Olson's first pitch. Up and away on a fastball, ball 1. Left-handed hitter against left-handed pitcher. Kim versus Olson hitting a cool 4.56. The 1-0, swing and a miss at a letter-high fastball, and it's 1-1. And Kim, the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, for his 9 for 16 slash line last week. And time called by Kim as Olson was halfway into his windup, but Jason Stidham behind home plate granted Kim time. Olson resets, peers towards the sign, now into the windup and deals. Breaking ball over for a strike, and that breaking ball, a thing of beauty this afternoon for Olson.
Yeah, it's fooling the entire Michigan lineup. Could say that now with the 9-hitter at the plate.
The 1-2 pitch, chop towards third, a foul ball up the line, and a late hack by Kim just to stay alive against that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. It's the fastest pitch that Olson has thrown today. 1-2 the count, 1 away in the bottom of the third. Olson's pitch, high pop-up on the infield. Karen in foul territory calls everyone away and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So Olson has gone through the lineup once, and only Longo has reached via a walk. Olson looking for the shutdown inning here as Jeffers strides to the plate. Nebraska on top, 1-0. Michigan still eyeing its first hit. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Fastball, 0-1. Jeffers flared out to left back in the first. The 0-1, that high leg kick and a deal. Low and away, a ball, 1-1. Olson at the belt. Here's the 1-1. Check swing dribbler right back to the mound. Olson off the mound to get it. Pirouettes and fires to first for the third out of the inning. It's an easy 1-2-3 frame for Emmett Olson, who has retired the last 7 Wolverines that he's faced. End of 3 from Ray Fisher. Nebraska up 1-0.
Michigan all the way through the lineup and then some without a single hit. Just 1 base runner on the lone walk of the game for Olson, but he's looking very strong. We got a lot of MLB scouts in attendance. See quite a few in the scout section. It's funny, all of them look identical. They all have the same exact type of Oakley sunglasses. All of them with cameras, all of them with the stopwatch, all of them with the notebook. You could tell it's them. If I had to guess, like 8 or 9 in attendance.
And a large portion of them are almost certainly here for Connor O'Halloran, who was recently named the 3rd-team midseason All-American by Perfect Game and ranked as the 16th best pitcher in D1 Baseball's pitcher rankings in the midst of a phenomenal year facing his stiffest test to date this afternoon against a potent Nebraska lineup. So far, he's holding his own, giving up 3 hits, a walk, and allowed 1 run through 3 innings, but he's on the wrong side of the scoreboard with Nebraska leading 1-0, heading to the top of the 4th.
Yeah, it's tough when you only give up 1 run, and it was on a solo shot, too. Only 3 hits surrendered this game. Just not any support offensively, and he is, at least on pace as of right now, looking to get credited with his 2nd loss of the season.
5, 6, and 7 due up for the Cornhuskers against O'Halloran here in the top of the 4th. Nebraska on top 1-0. They'll be Columbus, Karen, and Anglem. 5, 6, and 7 for Nebraska. The left-handed hitting Columbus steps into the box. The southpaw O'Halloran deals a first pitch curveball over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Columbus chopped one a few feet in front of home plate that So Trace was able to make the play on back in his first at-bat. That one's slugged towards center. Kim eases in a couple strides, moving towards his left. Makes the two-handed catch. 1 up, 1 down in the 4th.
This game's flying by. Just checked my watch. It's only 4:39.
Are you sure you haven't time traveled?
I know. All the changes, you see it in the MLB, you see it in college too. These games are going by noticeably quicker.
And it helps when there's just been 5 base runners, as the first pitch is fouled off down the right field side. 0-1. Karen, one of the top catchers in the country, hitting .322, was named to the Buster Posey Award watch list, one of 65 catchers. The 0-1, breaking ball just off the outside corner, and it's 1-1.
Buster Posey already has an award named after him.
It's hard to believe Buster Posey's already retired.
Oh, it makes me feel old.
The 1-1, cut on and miss on a fastball, and it's 1-2. Big rip by Karen, and he comes up empty. Anglum on deck. Karen flew out to center field back in the 2nd. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Laced towards right center, that's down for a base hit. Velasquez over to cut it off. Karen routes first, he's going to try to get to second. The throw hits the cutoff man Burden, and he'll have no flip to second. It's a hustle double with the 1 away for Karen.
That was beautifully cut off, but just not a great flow into the infield. He got there well in enough time to get the second chance out at second, but just the throw did not have enough juice in it, and it had to get cut off.
You almost feel like Velasquez threw that off his back foot, and so it's a runner in scoring position with a 1 away for the Cornhuskers, as Nathan Thompson, the second base umpire, calls for time. Anglum at the dish.
First time for either team we got a runner in scoring position.
First pitch. Tied him up inside on an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1.
And not only that, I believe that's the first base runner with less than 2 outs as well.
1 away, and the man on second. O'Halloran deals home. Low and in, smothered by Sotrace. Nice sliding stop. Sotrace going to his left to keep that in front of him as Karen stays at second.
He doesn't always make the scoop, but he always keeps it in front of him, and that's most important, especially with runners on base.
Good speed at second for Karen, as we saw there with that double. The 1-1 pitch rises high, and it's 2-1. Cole Evans on deck. Anglum walked back in the 2nd. Big hole on the right side of the infield for the right-handed hitter against the southpaw. Small lead off second for Karen. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball sliced foul down the right field side, and it's 2-2.
I'm impressed he even got a piece of that. Just kept breaking all the way from release pretty much. And with that speed, it was Clacton at 83. He just barely got tip of it with the nub of his bat.
O'Halloran could use a strikeout here. He has just one today. 2-2 pitch. And that one gets away from Sotrace, allowing Karen to head over to third. So we praised Sotrace a few pitches ago for smothering the ball to his left. This time moving to his right, it bounces away from him and far enough for Karen to head down to third. So a runner at third with 1 away and a 3-2 count now to Anglum. Michigan already down 1-0 in this game. Burden and Jeffress will come in a shade. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Rocketed foul down the third base side. We'll do that one again. So Anglum working a good turn at bat here, trying to drive in the second Nebraska run of the day. Infield is in. Karen with a very short lead off third. O'Halloran comes set. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went right back to the well, and a big cut by Anglum, who comes up empty for a king-size second out.
Big-time play requires a big-time pitch. He pulled it out right there.
I thought you were going to say big-time song.
And a big-time song. We got Usher playing over the loudspeaker. Always love the PA announcer and the disc jockey.
Now Cole Evans will try to drive in the run. And a 3rd 2 away. First pitch, chopped foul behind the dish, and it's 0-1. Well, Karen sliced a 1-out double, went to 3rd on the wild pitch. Anglum failed to drive him in. Now O'Halloran is an out away from escaping unscathed. Michigan down 1-0 in the top of the 4th. Here's the 0-1. Big whiff and a miss. Tied him up inside. O'Halloran unafraid to pitch inside to these right-handed hitters, and it's paying dividends.
We got on deck Burnham, guy who hit the home run.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 1. You mentioned Burnham. Surely O'Halloran would not like to face him.
Especially with potentially 2 runners on base.
Evans hits it at a 344 clip. He flew out to right on the nice play by Velasquez in the 2nd. O'Halloran comes set. 1-2 pitch. Chop to short. Jeffries comes in, fields, fires on the run. Got him. And O'Halloran works around the 1-out double to pitch a scoreless frame. No runs a hit. 1 left to 3rd. Heading to the bottom of the 4th. Michigan down 1-0.
Does what he needs to do. He gets out of the jam. Gives up the double with just 1 out. Advances to 3rd and able to zone in without advancing the runner 90 additional feet. And keeps it at a 1-run game. Comes down to the Michigan offense. They have looked completely helpless so far today. Just a single walk through 3 frames. We got the 2-3-4 coming up with Burden leading off.
And the Emmett Olson has been in complete control since the moment he towed the rubber this afternoon. He's faced 10 batters, retired 9 of them, allowing just a full count 2-out walk to Joe Longo in the 1st. A game of freeze dance has broken out here at Ray Fisher. I don't really see too many people dancing.
I think it's the 2 competitors between them right behind the plate.
Oh, so this is an exclusive game of freeze dance.
Yeah, sign of the times. They're just flossing. Not exactly the most difficult dance to do. Freeze dance.
Oh, he moved.
I think both of them moved, but they give the winner to one of them. Gotta love to see it. Future
Adam
Michigan
is a
students
tough
right
judge
there.
up here.
I take freeze dance very seriously.
Are you more of a freeze dance guy or musical chairs?
I'm not a huge fan of musical chairs. Just because what always happens is everyone like speeds around and they just like slowly trot. Don't think that really fits in with the spirit of musical chairs.
It's all about the spirit of the game.
It is. I'm a purist.
Ted Burden steps into the box as we resume this game in the bottom of the 4th. Michigan down 1-0. Olson kicks and deals a first pitch breaking ball that sits below the knees for ball 1. Michigan still eyeing its first hit of the day against Olson. 1-0 pitch, fouled off down the right field side. That's ticketed for the parking lot. It's 1-1.
We got a lot of cars in the lot between baseball and softball. Get those insurance claims ready.
1-1. Low on a fastball, and it's 2-1. Burden, Longo, and Velasquez, 2-3-4 in the Michigan order, due up against Olson here in the 4th, as the 2-1 pitch is low, ball 3. And as I was a little ahead of myself a moment ago, this is the 2nd time through the order for Olson. Here's the 3-1, low, ball 4. And so Michigan, as its 2nd base runner of the afternoon, Olson surrenders his 2nd walk, just his 11th of the year, and Michigan as the leadoff man on.
Yeah, both of Michigan's base runners have come from walks, which you could spin either way. One hand, it means Michigan's patient, waiting for their pitch, getting on. The other hand, that's all you could do where the opponent's making the errors for you.
Olson throws over towards first as Burden's back in safely. Stolen a couple bases on the year, also has been caught 3 times. Longo worked that 2nd walk that Olson has surrendered back in the 1st. Olson looks now, deals home. Low and in on a breaking ball. Nice block behind the dish by Karen. and it's 1-0. So I mentioned that this is the second time through the order, and we'll see how Michigan's approach and perhaps success changes against Olsen. Another throw over to first. Burden in safely. The pace has slowed down considerably here for Olsen with Burden leading off first. The 1-0. Longo fists it to the right side. Columbus easing back, battling the sun, and he makes the catch as he loses his hat in the process right on the lip of the infield dirt for the first out.
That was tricky because it looked like for a second it might hit the ground, but regardless, Michigan would have a runner on first and one out because there's not much you could do with a base runner there.
Not an easy play. Well done by Columbus. Burden stays on first, one away. Velasquez steps in. And another throw over to first as Burden is back in safely. Olsen certainly thinks that Burden might be off and running. Runs are likely to be at a premium this game with two stalwart pitchers and Michigan trailing 1-0. It's a big lead on at first. Delivers home. Velasquez fouls it back toward us. That was a few feet to our left. Otherwise, that was coming right through our open window.
Yeah, there's a very slight range of angles for launch angle and speed with the way the backstop is set
The
up.
0-1, there goes Burden. Velasquez lifts it toward left center. Swanson's going to make the catch as Burden trots back. He makes the one-handed catch. And I don't know if that was a straight steal or a hit and run. Nonetheless, Burden back to first with two away.
And now you'll see him running all the way on any balls in play. Flores comes on up. 3 blasts this season on 21 hits.
And Flores has been a hotter bat. He's raised that average up to 219, drove in 3 runs Tuesday. Such an integral component to Michigan's offense the past couple of years. Martin, a big slump this season. Here's the first pitch. Inside, it skips to the backstop, high off that netting. Burden heads towards second, takes a large turn, but holds in there. They'll rule that a wild pitch. I've never seen a wild pitch bounce that high off the netting. It nearly went over it.
Just a couple inches away, and I think you would have gotten an extra base, too, if that would have happened. But this net is by no means short. Quite a feat.
Well, now a runner in scoring position for the first time today for Michigan. The 1-0 at the knees, a fastball, and it's 1-0. Some moans and groans from the fan base here at Ray Fisher. Well, Flores has a chance to drive in a run here. Michigan looking for its first hit and its first run, down 1-0 in the fourth. Curveball chopped up the left side. Olsen off the mound to get it. Makes the throw right on target for the third out of the inning. Another comebacker handled deftly by Olsen. We're through 4 in Ann Arbor. Still 1-0 Nebraska.
That looked like it might have the potential to be one of those plays, the infield dribblers, that gets a runner on, but when the pitcher scoops it up, you can't outrun his cannon of an arm, and he fired it into first at what looked like over 70 miles per hour.
Michigan with a few better at-bats there against Olsen, but still nothing to show for it in the hit column. No hits for the Wolverines through 4.
Here in this intermission, we got Coach Tracy put on the headset for BTN.
Don't tease our listeners like that. It's not for us.
I wish we could tap into that feed and ask him a couple questions.
We can focus on what's most important in this minute left of the break here. We came so close to having a foul ball. Do you think one of us would have caught it?
I don't have the reaction time. My high school baseball coach could vouch for that. But it's very rare.
I was so caught off guard.
I know the net is so high, and the collection of the bundle of launch angles and launch exit velocities to create a situation where it even has a chance at getting into our window is so slim. But that was close because it was just rocketed off and had the perfect trajectory to just barely clear the net, but not too high that it hit the overhang. And it bounced about 5 feet above us and about 5 feet to the left. But it looked awfully close and had quite the speed. we might have needed a new soundboard if that weren't so lucky.
That would be bad news Bears.
Bad news Bears. Bad news Bears for the station budget. We just got this one in January. Had to go all the way out to the Guitar Center in Canton.
Sounds like a luxurious experience. As we kick off play in the top of the 5th, Casey Burnham is responsible for the only run this afternoon with a solo home run to lead off the 3rd, steps in, and everyone's waiting for that BTN interview to finish up. Gathering the headset now from Tracy Smith. It's not us. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah,
We're just on radio.
Appreciate you tuning in to us when this is on BTN, nationally, regionally televised, I guess.
O'Halloran pours in a first pitch strike at the letters, and the 5th inning underway here in this 1-0 game. Nebraska on top. Still picture-perfect day for baseball. O'Halloran into the windup, the 0-1. Burnham flashes a bunt, pulls it back, and takes it low. 1-1. And again, some grumpy fans here.
Yeah.
They need to relax a little bit.
I know. On a beautiful day like this with a lot of youngsters out from school, let's take it easy.
1-1 pitch, breaking ball over for a strike. And O'Halloran's done a beautiful job this afternoon of complementing his fastball with a breaking ball to keep these Nebraska hitters off balance. He's ahead in the count 1-2 against the left-hand hitting Burnham. Here's the pitch. Low and away, 2-2. Matthews is on deck, then Carey to follow as we flip things over to the top of Nebraska's order. Burnham, no slouch himself, hitting .333, and of course tagged O'Halloran for that home run back in the 3rd. O'Halloran comes set. Into the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Lifted foul off the left field side, and it stays 2-2.
And that ricochets off Yost Ice Arena. A little bit salty about how that season ended. We'll discuss that later, I'm sure.
All eyes turn to baseball.
And softball, too.
2-2. Pulled foul off the netting behind the Michigan dugout. Softball game just about to get underway across the way from us. I love the fact that these two stadiums are nestled front and back from each other, which allows you to see the other game from the press box. 2-2 pitch. Just inside ball 3. Home plate umpire Jason Stidham is catching a lot of heat from these fans.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe the nice weather and sunshine brings out the enthusiasm, so to speak.
That's one word for it. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So O'Halloran exacts some form of revenge, striking out Burnham to open the 5th.
And he's starting to get in his groove. Only one strikeout through the first 3. Then he got another one in the 4th, and now one to lead off the 5th as well. 2
of the last 5 batters have struck out against O'Halloran as Bryce Matthews sets in, beginning the 3rd time through the order. O'Halloran into the windup. First pitch on the outside corner on an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1. Matthews hitting .406 on the year. He's 1 for 2 today. Hit .417 in the month of March. O'Halloran's 0-1, misses low and in a ball, and it's 1-1. Cornhuskers up 1-0 here in the top of the 5th, and a pitcher's duel between O'Halloran and Olsen. Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. 1-1. Matthews chops it foul. 1-2. Carey on deck. Matthews steps in. O'Halloran ahead in the count, 1-2. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Rip to third. Diving catch is made by Voigt. Sprawling to his left. Mitch Voigt flashing the letter for the 2nd out of the inning.
That was huge. That likely saved a hit if he didn't get down quickly and at least stop it.
And Matthews just smoked that ball to third. 2 up, 2 down. And the 5th for O'Halloran. Into the windup. First pitch to Carey. Over for a strike on a breaking ball. And O'Halloran has been very good this afternoon. Walked 1, given up 4 hits, and allowed just 1 run. But looking for his first 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. Here's the 0-1. Chopped up the right side. O'Halloran off the mound to get it. Spins, tosses to first in time, and right on cue. It's a 1-2-3 fifth inning for Connor O'Halloran. No runs, no hits, none left. Heading to the bottom of the fifth in Ann Arbor. Michigan down 1-0.
You mentioned how he has always thrown at least 6 innings on all of his starts. Well on his way to do that this afternoon. Only 1 run surrendered through 5 full. So despite the home run, his ERA is actually going to decrease, at least so far. Just still on pace for the loss, not getting any help from Michigan's offense so far.
What do we have going on here now? A trike race?
Yeah.
Where's it occurring?
Tricycle.
Oh, left field corner.
Oh, yeah, we got the bad angle on that. The bullpen's kind of blocking it.
It's going to be electric when they come around the bend, though.
Oh, yeah. And they're taking it slow. I don't know the size of these trikes.
It's not much of a race here.
Yeah, I could walk faster than that. Oh, yeah, these are some tiny trikes. They're not moving quick, especially on this AstroTurf.
No, but the kid in Mays is a sizable lead.
Oh,
he's ditched the trike.
Yeah, this kid's gunning him just on foot.
Is he allowed to surpass him? He's going by him.
Give the kid in Mays props. He's moving slow.
The shock factor when the kid in blue rounded the bend without the tricycle.
Just ditch the trike and let some of the event staff take care of it.
Well, they might need to reconsider that race here. 1-0 Nebraska, ready to begin play in the bottom of the fifth. As Emmett Olson takes the mound for Moore. He's been brilliant through 4 innings, allowed just 2 base runners, both on walks. Wolverines held hitless through 4. They'll have 6, 7, and 8 up in the order, looking to change that, beginning with Jack Van Remortel. Right-handed hitter steps into the box, infield straight away, outfield straight away. First pitch from Olson is cut on and miss, an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1.
Home plate umpire says he got a very little bit for the foul tip, but that off-speed had him fooled.
Olson into the windup, the 0-1. That one he fouled back, and it's 0-2. Van Remortel's bat has really come on in recent weeks, hitting .284, had that walk-off home run against Central Michigan last Tuesday. Here's the 0-2 pitch. On the inside corner, strike 3 called. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Olson makes quick work of Van Remortel to begin the fifth.
We got 4 strikeouts for Olson, adding to his already impressive season total of 44.
Olson deals, first pitch to Voigt, swing and a miss. Now Voigt struck out on 4 pitches back in the second rather. Here's the 0-1, low and away, ball 1. Voigt made that sparkling defensive play in the last half inning, looking to build off that momentum at the dish. Olson deals 1-1, fouled off down the right field side and into the parking lot. 1-2. Olson at the belt, high leg kick, 1-2 pitch, breaking ball hops in, well in front of the plate, and it's 2-2. So Trace on deck. 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3, so Voigt has worked a full count. Olson takes a breath and deals. 3-2 pitch, club towards center. Drifts back, and Burnham waits for it to come down to make the one-handed catch in the shadows of that big scoreboard in center field. Gabe Sotre steps to the dish. Sotre struck out his first time up. One of 4 strikeouts on the day for Olson. Into the windup, first pitch. Sotre slices it foul down the right field side. Watch out for your car. That bounces into the parking lot, looking to claim a victim. That's chopped up the first base side. Columbus off to get it. He'll tag Sotrace up the line. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Olsen, who's now twirled 5 no-hit innings. 1-0 Nebraska as we head to the 6th.
No runs and no hits, and obviously no runners left on base in that inning. Just completely dealing, and going to be a tough position for Michigan's ace. Gave up one bad pitch, and now he's going to potentially be credited with a loss if Michigan's offense can't turn it around. Got a full house pretty much here in Ann Arbor. Fans are continuing to file on in. The day gets nicer as it progresses. It started about 51 at first pitch. Now it's up to 53. And looking across the way to the Alumni Field softball diamond, they're just getting started right now. Who's Michigan have this weekend in softball? Is it Northwestern?
I believe it's Illinois.
Illinois? Should know that. I'm broadcasting on Sunday.
Haven't started your preparation yet.
Have not yet been completely focused on this one until now. That's my first and only softball game of the season, so I'm excited for the chance. This is my final scheduled baseball game of the season. We'll see if they need maybe some last-minute substitutions after graduation, but it's been a lot of fun. I've covered close to 20 baseball games with WCBN over the years. Traveled a little bit with the baseball team. I went to East Lansing once, and I went down to Cincinnati when they played Xavier, but it's been it for me for baseball. It's been a fun couple of years to follow the Wolverines, starting off with the World Series run right before my freshman year, and then continuing with a brief moment at #1 in the nation before COVID canceled that season, and then obviously the late season push last year in Omaha.
O'Halloran's first pitch to Anderson is a breaking ball that misses low, 1-0. 3-4-5 in the Nebraska order up against O'Halloran here in the top of the 6th. Into the windup, here's the 1-0 pitch. Anderson chops toward third. Voigt charges, fields the short hop, fires to first, and he gets Anderson by a couple strides for the first out of the inning.
It's been a clean game so far. No errors committed by either team. And cue the announcer's jinx on this next one, knowing my luck.
You have the power.
But it's just been very limited hits either. We got 4 from Nebraska, and then obviously none from Michigan.
First pitch, fastball off the outside corner. 1-0 to Swanson, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Michigan down 1-0 in the top of the 6th. The lone run this afternoon via a solo shot by Burnham, as that pitch is skied in the air towards right center. Kim and Velasquez charging in. It's Kim in the gap taking charge. Drifts to his right a little bit and makes the one-handed catch for the second out of the inning. So O'Halloran has now set down the last 7 hitters he's faced. As Ben Columbus, one of 2 lefties in the lineup against the southpaw, steps into the dish. Columbus 0 for 2. But a stoppage here as Will Bolt goes to talk to Columbus. O'Halloran will throw a couple pitches here to stay fresh after that timeout as Columbus digs back into the box. And Jason Stidham back behind home plate. O'Halloran at the belt. Here's the first pitch. Columbus taking all the way. Watches a pitch go by outside, 1-0. Pitch on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. So you have to presume that with a quick inning unfolding, Will Bolt instructed Ben Columbus to watch a few pitches go by and bide Emmett Olsen some time. Here's the 1-1. Dropped by Sotrace, but it's at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-2. And now Columbus will have to take that bat off his shoulders. O'Halloran steps back on the rubber. Into the windup, 1-2 pitch. Low, smothered by Sotrace for a ball, and it's 2-2.
This is a bit of a change of pace, quite literally, for O'Halloran. He's usually very quick and very efficient.
Columbus trying to throw him off his rhythm a little bit. O'Halloran peers home. Now deals the 2-2. On the outside corner, paint for strike 3. Another strikeout for O'Halloran. A 1-2-3 frame. He's set down the last 8 hitters he's faced. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-0 Cornhuskers.
He's in the groove, and now he'll hit that benchmark that we talked about at several occasions of at least 6 innings on every start he's had. And the way he's pitching and his pitch count so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go into the 7th or 8th and then just give it up to the closer.
And O'Halloran has now struck out a hitter in each of the last 4 innings after not striking out a Cornhusker through the first 2 frames. He's really settled in, that lone blemish being the solo shot by Burnham to lead off the 3rd, and that's where we stand right now. 1-0 Cornhuskers in the bottom of the 6th. Michigan yet to crack the code. That is Emmett Olson.
Yeah, and I see an Olson grind. He's also being incredibly efficient himself. I would be quite shocked if we see any movement in either bullpen, at least for the time being.
And even if Nebraska is to chase Olson from the game, it does, or if Michigan rather is able to chase Olson from the game, it doesn't get any easier. The Cornhuskers bullpen has recorded 18 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings, a streak that stretches back to March 26th. So Michigan really has its work cut out for it the rest of the way here in this one. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Michigan order. Kim, Jeffers, and Burden as the Wolverines eye a spark.
We appreciate everyone spending their Friday afternoon with us on WCBN. We know this game is regionally televised on cable on Big Ten Network. Only game of the weekend series hidden cable, but we appreciate you joining WCBN and supporting Student Radio.
Alongside Adam Bressler, I'm Jared Greenspan, live from Ray Fisher, where we have an open booth. Beautiful 50-degree day, blue skies. Olson's first pitch is swung on and missed by Kim. 0-1. Kim, left-hand hitter against the southpaw Olson, who has kept the Wolverines' bats at check. 5 hitless innings so far for Olson, clenching the 1-0 lead. Here's the 0-1, dots the outside corner with a fastball, and it's 0-2.
What I've been thinking with Kim is how long is he able to keep this up all season? And he's continuing to do it, getting honored for it last weekend.
The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball just upstairs, and it's 1-2. Kim entered the day hitting .456. He's 0 for 1, so that's down to a cool .448. Into the windup, 1-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it as he chops it foul to the backstop. It's 1-2.
He peaked at .550 during the Bradley series, and that was a month into the season.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Olson blows it by Kim to open the bottom of the 6th. 5 strikeouts now for Emmett Olson, who, we keep saying it, but it's true, has just looked so dominant and comfortable out on the mound.
It just takes one swing of the bat, though, to tie this one up.
Jeffress into the box, Olson into the windup, and deals a first pitch breaking ball that clips the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Jeffress, left-handed hitter, 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out to left and a comebacker. 0-1 pitch, misses off the outside corner, a ball, and it's 1-1. Ted Burden on deck, then Joe Longo if anyone is to reach. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th, Nebraska up 1-0. Olson's 1-1. That's off the outside corner, and it's 2-1. The lone problem Olson has run into today is that he's issued 2 walks after entering the day, having issued just 9 on the year. His 2-1 pitch, Jeffress flares it foul down the left field side, and it's 2-2.
Another doink off Yost.
They're really just peppering Yost today. Must
Yeah.
be some pent-up anger. 2-2 pitch. Smothered, and it's 3-2.
Can't blame him for that after last night's game. Very frustrating.
So Jeffress has worked a full count here. Third time through the order against Olson. Olson into the windup. Here's the full count pitch, and Jeffress carves it foul down the left field side. And we'll do it again.
He's having trouble keeping up with Olson's fastball, even 5-6 innings into this game.
3-2. Flied foul down the left field side. That's going to hit the bullpen out of play as Swanson watched it go foul.
Another late swing, barely hanging on. Last pitch hit 92, and Jeffress just can't keep up with it.
3-2 pitch, and Jeffress fouls it off again. So we'll have a ninth pitch of the at-bat.
And they've all been in the same spot. He's making contact. He just can't carry it fair.
Well, he's making Olson work, if not anything else. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. The 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called. Emmett Olson pulled that one out of his back pocket. Looped in the off-speed pitch to freeze Jeffress. And he's got 2 strikeouts to open the 6th.
Six strikeouts on the day through 5 2/3.
First pitch to Burden. Skips into the plate, and it's 1-0. 5 2/3, no hit innings so far for Emmett Olson, riding a 1-0 lead. Into the windup, 1-0. On the inside corner, a fastball for a strike, and it's 1-1. Longo's on deck. Burden and Longo, the 2 men to reach this afternoon, each have drawn a walk. Here's the 1-1. And Burden lifts it in the air towards center. Burnham easing in as it lined up. Not hit well at all. Now trots back and makes the one-handed catch. Another 1-2-3 frame for Emmett Olson, who's twirled 6 no-hit innings. We're heading to the 7th. 1-0 Nebraska.
I don't know what more there is to say for the Wolverines, but they're giving no help to their starting pitcher, who's throwing another ace out there, but just nothing to match Olson. And
well, at the top of our broadcast, we really advertise this as a pitcher's duel, as most Fridays are in college baseball, with each team sending out their respective ace. We knew what Michigan had in O'Halloran. We now know what Nebraska has in Olson. This has really lived up to the billing.
certainly just one mistake from O'Halloran kept this from a tied scoring duel into the 7th. We're 3 outs away from the 7th inning stretch, and Michigan has yet to record a hit.
And in a game like this, it could be one mistake that proves the death knell.
Oh, most certainly.
1-0 Nebraska. That lone run of this game came leading off the top of the 3rd, rather, as Casey Burnham drove a pitch deep beyond the wall in right center for a home run. O'Halloran rebounded, and he's been in a groove ever since, but Michigan unable to touch Emmett Olson, who has allowed 2 base runners, both via a walk. He's 6, 7, and 8 in the Nebraska order here against Connor O'Halloran, Karen, Anglum, and Evans, with Karen, the right-hand hitting catcher, stepping into the box just now. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a hustle double back in the 4th. Was ultimately stranded at 3rd. That was the 2nd best scoring opportunity of the game behind the home run. O'Halloran steps onto the mound, toes the rubber, comes set, and deals. First pitch to Karen is a breaking ball that's grounded to 3rd. Jeffress circles under it, makes the throw across the diamond for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the 7th.
We've seen it from both sides of the mound, both sides of the dugouts, of just quick play. And even if you end up recording the out from a ball in play, doing it on quick pitches.
First pitch to Anglum is a curveball that dips low and in for a ball, and it's 1-0. Anglum struck out his last time up with Karen at 3rd and 1 away, failed to get the run in. O'Halloran's 1-0. At the letters, a fastball, and it's 1-1. Evans waits on deck. O'Halloran comes set and deals the 1-1. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Moving quick. We've seen it all season. O'Halloran doesn't take a ton of time to get set. Quickly guns and fires.
1-2. Lifted towards left center. Chasing Longo back with Kim in the gap. Longo calls him off and makes the catch on the run with a one hand. So well struck, but not well enough. And Longo looking mobile in left field, making the second out of the inning.
Michigan has never really struggled with speed in the outfield, but putting it on full display in this game so far. Couple of deep shots, Michigan outside of the home run, having no trouble tracking them down.
First pitch to Evans is a strike, 0-1. O'Halloran at 82 pitches with 2 away in the 7th, trailing 1-0. Into the windup, here's the 0-1. And Evans slices it to right, chasing Velasquez toward the line. He's not going to get there. It'll one hop against the wall. Evans rounding first on his way to second. The throw by Velasquez comes in late, and it's a 2-out double for Evans.
And look who's coming up, the lone RBI of the game with Burnham stepping up to the plate with a runner in scoring position. On that, it was just the opposite of the other double we saw in this game. The first double, Velasquez did a great job cutting it off and tracking it down, but a poor throw in. This was a poor cutoff, but a decent throw once he got to it.
First pitch to Burnham comes in at the letters, a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. And Burnham, as we've mentioned, homered in the 3rd to produce the lone run of this game. He then struck out in the 5th. Runner at second with 2 away here. The 0-1 in the dirt, so Trace able to stop that one from going to the backstop, and it's 1-1. Outfield pretty shallow here against Burnham, who slugged that home run. His first of the year back in the 3rd. O'Halloran deals home the 1-1. Burnham chops towards second. Burden ranging to his right. Fields fires in time for the 3rd out of the inning. So O'Halloran works around the 2-out double. It's time to stretch in Ann Arbor. Michigan down 1-0.
This might be the quickest 7th inning stretch I've ever been a part of. Only 1 hour and 19 minutes after first pitch. We're already on our feet.
You're sitting down.
Yeah, I know. I don't even really feel the need to stretch my legs. It's so soon. Get a huge crowd up on their feet. Even some of the Cornhusker fans who made the trip out standing tall. I'm curious, are these Husker fans from like Michigan and they saw their team came to town for the first time since 2016 and they figured they'd come on out? Or did they travel all the way from Nebraska to be here? Because both of us know firsthand how long that drive is. I don't know. I guess we need the WCBN sideline correspondent to get to the scoop of that. But imagine any Nebraska fans in Southeast Michigan would love the opportunity to come out and see their beloved Huskers play here for the first time in 7 years.
I'm going to guess that they're from somewhere nearby. The thing with Nebraska is it's so isolated compared to the rest of the Big Ten that if you live anywhere near the vicinity of an away stadium, you're probably going to make an effort to go.
Oh, certainly, especially when they only play once every 7 years. I know that was a bit of an extremity due to the pandemic, but still.
So Emmett Olson toes the mound. He has thrown 6 no-hit innings as we begin play in the bottom of the 7th with Nebraska up 1-0. His first pitch is a curveball that misses outside 1-0. That's the 81st pitch that Olson has thrown this afternoon. His high is 111 on the season. The 1-0 to Longo misses low, ball 2. And yes, With Olsen sitting at 82 pitches, facing 2 batters over the minimum, it's time to monitor the pitch count. Is 2-0, just off the outside corner, and it's 3-0. He's not working on a full week's rest. His last start was Saturday, not last Friday. The 3-0 pitch. Outside ball 4. Longo waited an extra beat to see if Jason Stidham was going to give Olsen the call. He did not, and Longo works a 4-pitch walk. He's on base for the second time today, and Michigan has a leadoff base runner. But it's still searching for that first hit. The 3rd walk of the day allowed by Olsen. 2 have come to Longo. He walked Burden leading off the 4th. Was able to induce 2 pop-outs and a ground out against the heart of Michigan's order. Greg Pace Jr. is going to pinch run here for Longo, adding an element of speed that Olsen has to worry about. He deals home to Velasquez, and it's a fastball groove down the middle for a strike. 0-1.
Velasquez, the lowest batting average of any starter in the lineup for the Wolverines.
A throw to first, Pace back in standing. Velasquez hitting just 181 on the year.
I wish I brought my binoculars. We got someone warming up in the Huskers pen. I can't make out the number.
0-1, Velasquez hits it in the air towards left. Hit pretty well. Swanson's back at the track. Can't make the catch. Pace heads to third. He'll be held there as Velasquez pulls in at second with the double. And finally, 22 batters into this game, the Wolverines have their first hit.
It took quite a while to get to that point.
Velasquez carved it out towards left. Swanson had it measured right at the wall, but he could not make the leaping catch. It was very similar to a ball that Ted Burden hit against Central Michigan last Tuesday that tied up the game in the 9th inning. That big wall in left field, the brick wall that is very high, almost Green Monster-esque, is giving opposing left fielders a lot of trouble.
Is this going to be it? We see a mound visit right now, but he gave up 1 hit all game.
And not sure if that's Will Bolt, the manager, or Jeff Christie, the pitching coach, out to talk to Olsen, who was spectacular until those 2 batters. Jason Stidham is out to break it up right now, and Olsen's going to stay in the game. Runners at second and third with nobody out. Michigan poised to finally break through. It was Longo who worked the 4-pitch walk to begin the inning. Greg Pace came into pinch run, then Velasquez carved the double. Pace is at third, Velasquez at second. With nobody out in the bottom of the 7th, Michigan trailing 1-0, and it's Tito Flores at the plate. The infield is back. The corners are in. First pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball, and Flores took a big hack. I should say the middle infield is playing back, with the second baseman Anderson shaded towards the bag. The corners are pinched in, and the outfield's fairly deep against Flores. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And they're going to say that Flores took too long to get into the box, so it's 0-2. A pitch clock violation for Tito Flores. 0-2 pitch. Line to second, caught by Anderson. A little fister off the end of the bat. And so Flores can't get the job done, and the task is passed along to Jack Van Remortel. So a quick turn at bat for Flores, who was really done in by the pitch clock violation. Pace the runner off third, Velasquez off of second. Michigan down 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th, looking to break through against Emmett Olsen. Van Remortel steps in. Olsen kicks and deals a breaking ball that floats outside. Ball 1. And Van Remortel 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He's popped up and struck out. Olsen kicks his leg, the 1-0. Check swing roller up third, a foul ball. Carey had the line covered. It was an excuse me swing off the bat of Van Remortel. 1-1 the count. Voigt is on deck. Corners pinched in, middle infield back. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball low, ball 2. Outfield very deep against Jack Van Remortel, who has a lot of power. Olsen into the windup is 2-1. Low and in, nearly hit him. Smothered behind the dish by Karen, who does a nice job to keep that ball in front of him and keep pace at third. It's now 3-1. Runners lead off second and third. There's an open base, but Olsen doesn't want to pitch around him. 3-1 pitch. Chopped to third. It's knocked down by Carey. He'll make the throw to first in time. And Carey had to fight the sun in the weird bounce there a little bit, but he makes the play. And now Mitch Voigt has to get the job done. Michigan had runners at second and third, nobody out, and Olsen on his heels. But Flores couldn't get the job done, and neither could Van Remortel. So it's up to the freshman. First pitch popped up right field. Evan Shading towards the line in fair territory, makes the two-handed catch. Emmett Olsen with a pump of the fist and a yell as he walks off the mound, gets out of the jam unscathed. And that has to be a sinking feeling if you're Michigan. Runners at second and third, nobody out after getting your first hit of the day, and you cannot score.
Completely deflating. Get a huge hit, rounding. If the base runner didn't hold up, he may have gone home there. Unfortunately, with the two runners on, it was just terrible positioning. We had a line out straight to the infield, so no advancement. We had a ground out right to the third baseman, and you can't really advance on that when it was right towards the guy holding you on. And then finally, we had the fly out with 2 outs. If that fly out could have came sooner, we might have a tie ball game right now.
Connor O'Halloran is coming back out for more. Thought for a moment there that O'Halloran was going to get off the hook. Instead, he's back out for his 8th inning of work at 86 pitches, still trailing 1-0. So a deflating half inning for Michigan. The Wolverines still have 6 outs to play with. It's up to O'Halloran to keep holding up his end of the bargain here and putting up zeros.
And we don't have any movement in the Wolverines pen. Had some in the Huskers after the hit, which surprised me. We also had that mound visit, too. More just about composure than any lineup change, I figured. But O'Halloran, the way he's pitching, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go complete game.
And he's set to face the Nebraska lineup 4th time through. It'll be top of the order. Bryce Matthews, Dylan Carey, and Max Anderson against the lefty.
And I do stand corrected. Noah Renard just got up off of the bench, and he's stretching out a little bit in the pen. Not throwing yet, but he's staying loose in case the need arises.
First pitch, swing and a miss by Matthews, and it's 0-1. Matthews 1 for 3 on the day. He singled and stole a base back in the 3rd. O'Halloran comes set. Into the windup, the 0-1. Matthews flares bunt. O'Halloran coming on. Oh! A diving catch attempt by Sotrace, who was coming out from his crouch. O'Halloran was coming in, both trying to field the little pop fly bunt. And Sotrace had it go off his mitt. He then went crashing into O'Halloran, who thankfully appears okay. But it's a lead-off single, 6th of the day for the Cornhuskers against O'Halloran here in the 8th. Chaotic sequence there goes Nebraska's way. So now Dylan Carey with Matthews, who has plenty of speed and has stolen a base today, on at first. First pitch, rides high, a fastball, and it's 1-0. O'Halloran about to throw his 90th pitch this afternoon. He's allowed just 1 run and 6 hits and a walk. That ERA sits at 1.99. 1-0 pitch to Carey. Upstairs on a fastball, and it's 2-0. And some more action in the Michigan bullpen, starting to throw a little bit down there, with O'Halloran laboring here in the 8th. O'Halloran comes set, and a throw to first, keeping Matthews on his toes. He's back in there standing.
Southpaw doesn't even really move from his motion to throw that over to first.
O'Halloran steps back on the rubber, peers in towards home. 2-0 pitch. Up and away, ball 3. And you have to wonder if O'Halloran is running out of gas here.
And not only mentally, but also physically. You see his fastball, which started in low 90s, is now in the mid 80s.
Here comes the 3-0. Way up and away, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Carey. And that might be the end of the line for O'Halloran. 2 on and nobody out.
And there we have it. Coming on out. I don't know if this is just going to be a talk or if it's a pull.
Well, it certainly appears like O'Halloran has emptied the tank. It's Tracy Smith walks out, hands in his pockets, ready to greet his ace. We'll see what the conversation beckons. There's a pitcher up in the Michigan bullpen. It's the dangerous Max Anderson looming at the dish here with men at first and second with nobody out.
Renard would be the guy to go to, and he is the one warming up. He's good with those longer relief or types of relief situations. This isn't technically a save with Michigan down, despite an incredible outing, kind of unfortunately for O'Halloran. And it looks like he will stay on for the moment.
A long conversation between Smith, O'Halloran, Sotrace, and the infield, and it results in O'Halloran staying in this ball game to face Max Anderson. Matthews led off with the bunt single, then Carey worked a 4-pitch walk, in which O'Halloran was not particularly close on either pitch. Anderson has a chance to add to what is a 1-0 Nebraska lead. O'Halloran's first pitch home is fouled off down the right field side. That's heading to the parking lot. 0-1. Anderson is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. He singled back in the first, got robbed of a hit his last time up on a great play by Mitch Voigt at third. 0-1 the count. O'Halloran comes set and deals. Low and in, smothered by Sotrace. Matthews was dancing off second. Certainly had ideas about breaking for third.
Yeah, so we got the runner in scoring position here, but notice how it will be a force on any square base.
1-1 the count to Anderson. O'Halloran peers towards second, deals home. Chop to short. Jeffress fields second for 1. Burden to first. Double play! Just what the doctor ordered for Connor O'Halloran. He gets the 6-4-3 double play to erase a base runner. Matthews scampers towards third. 2 away now, and Swanson coming to the plate.
We're in a very similar situation to this 4th inning with a runner on third. See if O'Halloran could match what he did in the 4th and get out without any damage.
In the 4th, Nebraska had a man on third with 1 away and did not score. Now it's a man on third with 2 away. First pitch to Swanson, cut on and fouled at the dish. 0-1. I got a piece of Sotrace, who walks it off. And O'Halloran will trot back towards the mound. Jason Stidham gives Sotrace a little time to shake that one off. Swanson steps back into the box. He's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Has a lot of power, right-handed hitter against the southpaw. O'Halloran deals. Balloons outside for a ball, 1-1. Outfield straightaway, not too deep. Infield straight up as well. This is O'Halloran versus Swanson, looking to keep this a 1-0 game. 1-1 pitch. On the outside corner, fastball 1-2. Dialed that one back up to 90 miles an hour. That fastball had been tailing a little bit, but able to find velocity there. Trying to dig deep. 99th pitch upcoming. O'Halloran's 1-2 to Swanson. Way upstairs. Sotrace out of his crouch to grab it, and it's 2-2.
We got the base runner jumping around on third, not even being held on very much. But with the southpaw O'Halloran, he's completely ignoring it. He's looking the opposite way, not letting it phase him one bit. Focus on the batter at home.
100th pitch upcoming. The 2-2. Low and away, ball 3. And so Swanson has worked a full count. Columbus, the lefties on deck. Renard has stopped throwing for now in the bullpen. So you have to figure that O'Halloran would get Columbus, even if he allows Swanson to reach. O'Halloran comes set. Matthews dancing off third. The 3-2 pitch. Chop to short. Easy play for Jeffries. Fires to first. Got him by a stride. Connor O'Halloran works his magic to keep this game a one-run ball game. It's a 1-0 Cornhuskers, who strand a runner at third again as we head to the bottom of the 8th. And O'Halloran really dug deep there. Nebraska had runners at first and second, nobody out. With the heart of the order coming up, he induced the double play ball off the bat of Anderson and then got the ground out from Swanson to keep his team in the game. Just a tremendous effort so far this afternoon by Connor O'Halloran.
Yeah, and that is likely the it we'll see from him. With that, he brings his ERA down to 1.94, will continue to lead in the Big Ten, despite giving up a run and despite being positioned for a loss in the scorebook today. Just no help whatsoever from the Michigan batters, but still showing out how he's one of the most dominant pitchers in the Big Ten Conference.
He has certainly lived up to that ledger today against a potent Cornhusker offense with 7 hitters hitting above 300 and 2 above 400. O'Halloran limited them to just 6 hits and 1 run in 8 masterful innings. But Emmett Olson has simply been better, giving up just 1 hit, and he pulled a Houdini act himself in the bottom of the 7th, escaping runners on second and third, nobody out scenario without allowing a run. And so it's 1-0 Nebraska as we begin play in the bottom of the 8th. That lone run by the Cornhuskers coming off a home run from Burnham way back in the 3rd. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Michigan order as they try to touch up Emmett Olson. And Gabe Sotrace, right-handed hitter, digs into the box against Olson, who begins his 8th inning of work. 1-0 Nebraska here. It's getting late for Michigan. Wolverines with just 1 hit. First pitch is a breaking ball that is off the outside corner. There was some confusion as to whether Sotrace swung. Michael Wiseman down at first base said he did not. The 1-0. Sotrace chops it foul just wide of third. That's Stephen Linton making the call, so both third base and first base umpires busy in the first batter here in the 8th.
And this is a bit of an odd situation. You need a spark soon. We got the 8-9-1 hitter.
1-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Sotrace has been out in front on that looper all day. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a little nubber up first. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, chop foul, wide of third again. Still unable to wait back on that pitch. Olson into the windup, 1-2. Breaking ball, fouled straight back, caroms off the netting. A little more discipline there by Sotrace. Some light action in the Nebraska bullpen with Olson now over 100 pitches on the afternoon. Swing and a miss on the 1-2. Sotrace down swinging. And Olson opens the 8th with a K.
And we've seen that all day. Up to 7 now for Olson, adding to his, he had 44 coming into this one.
Jonathan Kim, left-handed hitter, steps into the box. Olson kicks his leg and deals. First pitch fouled straight back. 0-1. Kim is 0 for 2 with a strikeout himself. Jeffers is to follow, and then Burden if anyone gets on. Olson into the windup. Here's the 0-1, and Kim slugs it in the air towards right center. Chasing Swanson back. It's gone! Jonathan Kim ties the game with a home run.
The freshman phenom does it again. He's been batting incredibly for average, now showing his power That'll be his third big blast of the season.
And Kim stomps on home plate. The whole team's out of the dugout to greet him. We wondered if it would ever happen, but finally, Michigan tags Olsen to knot this game up at 1. And that is the sort of swing as the first pitch to Jeffress comes in upstairs 1-0. That is the sort of swing that lifts a burden off this team's shoulders.
Makes you really question why he's still the 9-hitter.
1-0 slashed foul. Karams off the netting above Michigan's dugout, and it's 1-1. Kim continues his sensational season, the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, making another bid for the award. 1-1. At the letters a strike, and it's 1-2. And again, the peanut gallery up and at it. Vociferous. 1-2 pitch rather, breaking ball chopped off Jeffress's foot, a foul ball. It stays 1-2.
Looks like the scoreboard operator thought that was a ball as well, too. Had to update it after the fact.
A bit of inconsistency from Jason Stidham behind the dish. Nonetheless, 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Jeffress fouls it off down the left field side. Ticketed for Yost, and it stays 1-2. Jeffress searching for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3. Tough matchup for a lefty against the southpaw Olsen. Olsen into the windup. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off down the right field side. And it stays 1-2. So Jeffress working a good turn at bat. He's hard to strike out. He struck out just 16 times this year. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss right on cue. Jeffress fishes the breaking ball in the dirt for strike 3. 8th K on the day for Olsen, who rebounds following the home run.
2 outs, and still an incredible outing for Olsen.
And it might be the end of the road.
If this is it for him, and it looks like it is as they open up the bullpen door, that will be 2 hits surrendered, 1 run in 7 2/3 innings,
and
including 8 strikeouts.
Olsen was simply brilliant, receives a hearty ovation from the Nebraska section, as well as a smattering of cheers from the Michigan fans on hand here. This pitcher lived up to the billing, and now both pitchers will leave this game without a chance at a win. So Olsen goes 108 pitches. Pitches 7 2/3 innings, gives up just 2 hits. He didn't allow his first hit until the 20th batter he faced. Struck out 8, walked 3.
We're going to give a quick update from the other side of the diamond here.
Oh, multitasking.
Multitask, save you a click, although if you do want to listen, go to WCBN. We have that also on our YouTube page. After this game, of course, as we're tied right now. But unfortunately for the Wolverines on the softball team, they are not winning against Illinois. They're actually down 3-0 in the third. Another iffy season for them. Similar stories, how we had 2 incredible managers for both baseball and softball. And last summer, both of them decided to leave. One retired and one went down to Clemson. And both of them were truly powerhouses in Ann Arbor, especially Coach Hutchins. But we saw a lot as well from Bakic. He did not build his career in Ann Arbor like what we saw with Hutchins, but made a name for himself, especially in the Big Ten, where building a strong, nationally relevant program is very tough. He made a case and was 1 game away from bringing home a national title.
Shea Sheneman, the new pitcher for the Cornhuskers against Ted Burton. His first pitch misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Sheneman enters the game with a 1-1 score and 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. A run already home. There's the 1-0, and an ugly swing by Burton at that pitch low and away, and it's 1-1. Shanneman's 1-1 to Burden. On the outside corner, a breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 1-2. We mentioned that scoreless streak of Nebraska's bullpen. 18 1/3 innings. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Went after another breaking ball, and Shanneman makes quick work of Burden, but the damage was done. Michigan finally got to Olsen. A solo shot for Kim, nearly in the same spot that Burnham deposited his home run. Makes this a 1-1 game as we head to the 9th.
And both were very similar pitches, too, just fastballs high. And both looked like they would potentially be fielded for an out, but just got carried to the same exact spot as you mentioned, just to the right of the huge new batter's eye they installed at this stadium. And here it is, coming out for the 9th.
We'll see who, and it is Connor O'Halloran, still out there for the 9th inning. Noah Renard is pacing around in the bullpen, presumably ready to go, but why not give it to O'Halloran? He has been nothing short of spectacular. So far has thrown 8 innings, 101 pitches, allowing 6 hits, 2 walks, just 1 run, and he struck out 4, really taming this potent Nebraska lineup.
I'm a little bit surprised they're sticking with him because he's been great all afternoon, but last inning he looked a little bit shaky and flawed.
And we wonder if
they gave him the inning, so he got rid of his loss distinction. He's sticking in, and he wants to win.
And you wonder maybe if this is just a one-batter sort of deal. Ben Columbus, one of 2 left-handed hitters in Nebraska's lineup, is due up here out of the 5-hole. O'Halloran has handled him well so far today. Columbus is 0-5. Maybe this is Tracy Smith saying, hey, go get Columbus out and then call it a day.
Here's my other thought, too. I think if they didn't score any last inning, he would have been gone. And if they scored 2, he would be gone. But now extras are a real possibility. They want to save the bullpen.
First pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. So we'll see how long the leash is here on O'Halloran, who's now thrown 102 pitches this afternoon through 8+ brilliant innings. The 0-1, wave and a miss by Columbus at a pitch nowhere close to the strike zone on the outer half of the plate. And it's quickly 0-2. It's Karen, a right-handed batter on deck. No action in the Michigan bullpen right now. O'Halloran into the windup, 0-2 pitch. Just off the outside corner. And Jason Stidham does not give O'Halloran the call. 1-2 the count.
Taking a long look at his wrist.
Here comes the pitch to Columbus. Chopped on the ground, right side. Burden ranging to his left on the outfield grass. Flips to first in time. Not an easy play, but Ted Burden makes it look easy to get the first out of the inning.
And let's see, no movement from the dugout. Looks like they're sticking with him.
And that dugout, very quiet, not even a stir. They do indeed stick with Connor O'Halloran. The right hand hitting Karen's at the dish with Anglum on deck. First pitch to Karen. Breaking ball over for a strike. 0-1.
That had some incredible movement. To be able to pull that out of their bag of tricks this late in a game is really a feat.
Into the windup, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Karen is 1 of 3 on the day with a double back in the 4th. Outfield fairly deep against the right-hand hitting catcher, hitting .322 on the year. Halloran deals the 0-2. Chop to short. Jeffress ranging to his right. Scoops it. Fires on the run. Got him at first. 2 up, 2 down in the 9th for O'Halloran.
And little bit of movement in the dugout, but not coming on out.
O'Halloran
my eye on what the call is. I think they want to give him the shot for the complete game.
He's had 108 pitches, but no signs of slowing down here in the 9th. He's looked better than he did in the 8th. Anglum steps in, the right-handed hitter. O'Halloran deals. First pitch, breaking ball misses low, 1-0.
Anglum 0 for 2 today. Add a walk onto that as well.
Tie game here in the top of the 9th. 1-1 your score. O'Halloran trying to keep it that way. The 1-0 over for a strike on a fastball, and it's 1-1. Outfield straight away. Longo is very deep in left field, practically on the warning track. Here's the 1-1 to Englum. Chopped up the third base side. High hop for Voigt. Makes the throw across the diamond in time. 1, 2, 3 go the Cornhuskers in the ninth. If that's the end for Connor O'Halloran, it was a brilliant, complete game. And now Michigan will look to give him the win.
Yeah, it's going to take some more effort from the plate like we saw last inning. Just one run will do it, allow the team to walk it off at home. Still an incredible outing. Only surrendering 6 hits through 9 full. Tack on 2 additional walks to that. Just the only run was on a deep shot, 1 bad pitch. Bearing that, Michigan would be celebrating at home right about now. We got an intense bottom of the ninth coming up for the Wolverines with some pinch hitters on deck.
It's 3, 4, and 5 due up in Michigan's lineup. Again, Shea Shanneman.
And it looks like, assuming Marty's up on deck taking some hacks, he'll be coming in as one of those guys who usually starts 2 of the 3 in a weekend series. He's always the first one called if needed. And
so here's where we stand. It's 1-1, Cornhuskers and Wolverines. Nebraska struck first in the third, a solo shot by Casey Burnham. And Michigan finally answered back in the 8th, a solo shot in the same area in right center by Jonathan Kim. Shea Shanneman beginning his first full inning of work in the bottom of the 9th as Jake Marty steps into the dish. This is Joe Longo's spot in the order, but he was pinch ran for in the 7th, and so now it's Marty coming on to pinch hit. 306 hitter, left-handed hitter. First pitch from Shanneman. Inside, did he go? They check to third. No, says Stephen Linton, and it's 1-0. As Shanneman relieved Olsen and struck out the only batter he faced. The 1-0 over for a strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the challenge Michigan faces trying to walk this thing off. Nebraska's bullpen, as the 1-1 bends outside, 2-1. The Cornhuskers bullpen has not been scored upon since March 26th. That's 18 2/3 innings. 2-1 pitch, over for a strike on a breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
that is an incredible stat, and tack that on with a starter who could go the distance. You have an unbeatable team.
2-2, Marty hits it on the ground right side. Second baseman Anderson over, and he flips to first in time to get the speedy Marty for the first out.
Velazquez steps up to the plate, the two-sport athlete. Don't see much of that anymore, especially in college.
And Velasquez is responsible for one of 2 Michigan hits this afternoon. First pitch by Shanneman is a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1 at 93 miles an hour. Velasquez, left-hand hitter against the righty Shanneman. That breaking ball is over for a strike, and it's 0-2. Velasquez doubled off the wall in the 7th to get Michigan's first hit of the game. Here's the 0-2. Just fouled off, got a piece of it, knocks it to the backstop, and it stays 0-2. Velasquez has a lot of power. He can end this one with one swing of the bat. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Goes after the high fastball. Comes up empty, and Shanneman is making quick work of Michigan's offense in the 9th.
Velazquez wanted to end this one on one swing of the bat. Unable to connect there. Bringing up Flores, 3 home runs of his own. But it's not going to come easy against this stellar Cornhusker bullpen.
Righty-righty matchup. First pitch inside, 1-0. Flores was coming on in the past few games, had 3 RBI on Tuesday, but he's taken an 0 for this afternoon, 0 for 3. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball over for a strike. It's 1-1. Van Remortel on deck. He knows a thing or two about walk-offs. Here's the 1-1. Flores pulls it towards third, a foul ball down the line, and it's 1-2. Shanneman has relieved Olsen and looked just as dazzling. 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went after a high fastball. Shanneman dispatches Michigan's offense with ease. You ready for some free baseball? We're heading to the 10th, tied at 1 in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, this was a incredibly quick game, but you're not getting out of here so soon.
Neither are you.
Yeah, we got, if the game would have ended there, it would have been a 1 hour and 56-minute ball game.
There was an MLB game, I think, between the Twins and Marlins that took an hour 56 the other day.
It's
changing,
yeah.
I do believe it was 1-0, but
like this was 1-1.
Not too far off.
Exactly. We would be in a 1-0 game if it weren't for Jonathan Kim in the 8th. And let's see who comes to the mound for the Wolverines. Looks like it will be Renard, who is warming up.
So
we've seen some long relief from him, so Michigan is prepared if this goes into 11, 12, 13 to at least have some arms available. But this is tough, having to go to the pin so early in this 3-game series.
well, Connor O'Halloran's day is officially done. Went 9 innings, scattered 6 hits and 2 walks, giving up just 1 run and striking out 4. Was brilliant through 111 pitches against a fierce Nebraska lineup, but you wouldn't know it the way O'Halloran was able to quiet their bats. And now Renard is tasked with doing the same. It's a 1-1 game as we begin play in the top of the 10th. Nebraska struck the solo home run in the 3rd. Michigan countered back in the 8th, and that's all the scoring, just 2 swings of the bat. I've accounted for the 2 runs we have so far this afternoon. 2 of the best teams in the Big Ten going at it in a pivotal opening game of this 3-game set. Renard has completed his warm-up pitches. He's ready to go. And he'll officially relieve Connor O'Halloran in the 10th. It's 8-9-1 in the Cornhusker order, beginning with Cole Evans, who doubled in his last turn at bat against O'Halloran, but was stranded at second. Right-handed hitter will face a right-handed pitcher for the first time today in Renard. Evans takes a deep breath, looks at his bat, now steps into the box. Renard at the belt, kicks the dirt. Here's his first pitch of the day. It misses low and away for ball 1. Evans hitting .349. There are no slouches in this Nebraska lineup, so Renard has his work cut out for him as he tries to follow O'Halloran's footsteps. 0-1, high pop-up. Who's got it? Voigt charging in. Sotrace didn't see it. Voigt stumbles and makes the catch! He lost his footing, fell on his back, and was still able to make the catch lying down on the AstroTurf. I have never seen anything like that.
That was incredible. Able to get on down and make the grab despite slipping.
Right in front of the Michigan dugout. Another sensational play by Mitch Voigt. And that'll bring up Burnham. His home run in the 3rd gave Nebraska the lead. First pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. That lead lasted until the bottom of the 8th when Jonathan Kim countered with a home run of his own to tie the game at 1. It's where we stand now with 1 away in the top of the 10th. Renard into the windup. Here's the 0-1. Wave and a miss on a pitch on the outer half of the plate, and it's 0-2. Renard last pitched on Friday at Illinois. Gave up 3 runs in 3+ innings. 0-2. Off the plate. Good eye by Burnham. And it's 1-2. Burnham, left-hand hitter, gets to face the righty for the first time today. Renard deals. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball chopped up the right side. Renard off the mound, won't get to it. Burden charging, tries the glove flip, not in time. Burnham beats it out for an infield single.
Renard kind of deferred to the second baseman, and you got to take charge there. Second baseman was too far back. Infield blue pit. and that'll add a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 10th.
7 hits now for the Cornhuskers, and Burnham has some speed on it first. The Kansas transfer has stolen 4 bases on the year. Medium lead off of first. First pitch towards Matthews is waved on and missed, and it's 0-1.
Curious to see how Michigan is positioned here. If they're going to try for double play depth or just play normally. Got a little bit of a leftward shift for this right-handed batter.
0-1. There he goes. It's lifted in the air towards left. Hit well. That's looking up. It's gone! Over the brick wall and gone. Marty tried to deke everyone, but that ball was way out of here. A 2-run shot for Bryce Matthews to put Nebraska on top in the 10th, 3-1.
All scoring this game has been on big blasts, and Michigan has its work cut out for them in the bottom of the 10th. Not what you want to see from your relief pitcher.
And Renard just hung a breaking ball, and Bryce Matthews hitting over 400 with 8 home runs coming in, slugged his 9th home run. At 747 slugging percentage entering the game, and he did not miss that one. First pitch to Carey in for a strike. Squared to bunt but pulled it back. With Voigt playing even with the bag on a third. 0-1 the count, 1 away here in the 10th. Renard looking to settle in and keep this a 3-1 game. Here's the 0-1. There's a bunt, and it's bunted foul up the third base side, 0-2. Anderson looms on deck. Renard has been tagged for the 2-run homer.
That's very deflating for the Wolverines. You could see the energy just leave Fisher Stadium.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 10th. 6, 7, 8 in the Michigan order due up. That's Van Remortel, Voigt, and Sotrace against the staunch Nebraska bullpen. 1-2 the count. Renard kicks and deals. Just off the outside corner. Close, but not close enough for Jason Stidham to give Renard the call. Renard's 2-2. Up and in. Chin music. Sends Carey twirling away from that one, and it's a full count. Renard definitely a little rattled here. You could also feel the energy sucked out of this stadium. 3-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Got him swinging. So Renard went full, but he's able to get Carey for the 2nd out of the inning.
Not only that, you could just tell the pace of play between Renard and O'Halloran are just so different. O'Halloran, he'd get on the rubber, take a quick look at his wrists, and then throw quickly. Complete opposite for Renard. He takes a couple moments, stares down, gets set, and then fires.
First pitch, up and away, ball 1 to Anderson. 1 for 4 on the afternoon. Grounded into a crucial double play his last time up in the 8th to aid O'Halloran through it. An inning unscathed. Renard into the windup, 1-0. Wave and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Renard toes the rubber, kicks and deals the 1-1. Breaking ball popped up right side. Van Remortel towards the Nebraska dugout right in front of the railing. Makes the one-handed catch to retire the side. But not before the Cornhuskers strike. A 2-run homer off the bat of Bryce Matthews puts Nebraska on top, 3-1. Michigan's got 3 outs to play with to avoid a loss.
Yeah, this would be the 2nd Big Ten loss for the Wolverines this season. And they have their work cut out. They need not just 1 to win, they need 3, 2 to keep playing further.
And Nebraska will go back to Shea Shanneman, who has looked brilliant, retiring all 4 batters he's faced this afternoon, striking out 3 of them, really picking right off where Emmett Olson left off. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Wolverines in the bottom of the 10th.
And we'll see if Nebraska's stellar pin can keep their streak going. Been over a month since they surrendered a run. What I do know, regardless of who wins this game, we got a fun series of baseball coming your way this weekend here in Ann Arbor.
Good pitching, some timely hitting, great fielding. A stellar one this afternoon at Ray Fisher, and Michigan trying to make it a magical one and mount a comeback. Wolverines down 3-1 here as we begin play in the bottom of the 10th. 6, 7, and 8 in the Wolverines order due up against Shea Shanneman. He's retired all 4 batters he's faced out of the bullpen, including 3 via the strikeout. Jack Van Remortel, right-handed hitter, steps into the box, touches his helmet, swings his bat. Shanneman at the belt. Into the windup. Here's the first pitch of the bottom of the 10th. It's a breaking ball off the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. Van Remortel, then Voigt and Sotrace. Shanneman's 1-0. That off-speed pitch clips the inside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. Outfield straightaway, fairly deep against Van Remortel. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball up and in. Van Remortel spins out of the way, and it's 2-1.
Van Remortel looking for his first hit of the day.
2-1 pitch, low and away, ball 3. That one goes all the way to the backstop. It got away from Karen. And Van Remortel in an advantageous count here, 3-1. Shanneman into the windup, 3-1. He grooved it down the middle for a strike. Fastball, and it's 3-2. The last thing Shanneman wants to do is give Michigan a free pass.
Most certainly.
And time is called. Shanneman was already halfway into his windup.
We're seeing more of that with the more strict pitch count rules.
3-2 pitch. Van Remortel lifts a high pop-up down the right field side. Carey easing back. He's called off by Anderson in foul territory, who makes the catch.
Michigan down to their final 2 outs here.
And that'll bring up Mitch Voigt. Right-handed hitter has taken an 0-for on the afternoon, a rare 0-for for the freshman.
I guess everyone has with only 2 hits this game.
First pitch is poured down the middle for a strike, and it's 0-1. So after briefly losing the strike zone, Shanneman has rediscovered it. 0-1 pitch. I jinxed him. That backdoor slider went over the head of Voigt, who ducked out of the way, and it's 1-1. Back for more. 1-1 pitch. Voigt fouls it off down the right field side out of play, and it's 1-2.
You could really feel the tension and urgency here for the Wolverines.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, wave and a miss. Voigt went after it in the dirt, and the Wolverines are down to their final out. Gabe Sotrace, 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts, comes to the plate. The light-hitting catcher. First pitch, off the outside corner, 1-0. So 1-0, lifted down the right field side. This will tail foul out of play. Columbus was racing after it, couldn't get there. So 1-1 the count to Sotrace. Had struggles at the plate today. Shanneman's 1-1. Breaking ball, tails inside, off the plate, and it's 2-1. Jonathan Kim would be next should Sotrace keep this thing alive. 2-1, popped foul down the right field side, and Michigan is down to its final strike.
Big Red fans on their feet.
2-2, and it hits Sotrace in the back. He takes one for the team, wearing it down to first, The breaking ball got away from Shanaman, and just like that, Michigan will bring the tying run to the plate.
That was 81. I'll take that pitch. A lot worse from any of the pitchers we've seen today.
And so here is Kim, responsible for the lone Michigan run via a home run in the 8th. First pitch, chopped foul into the Nebraska dugout, 0-1.
This game does seem to rhyme a little bit. One swing of the bat would give us more extras, and we know Kim could do it. Different pitcher, I guess, now.
0-1, breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike, and Kim is quickly behind 0-2. And Michigan again down to its final strike. So Trace leads off of first. Kim the tying run at the plate in a 3-1 game. Shanaman at the belt. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. He froze Kim with the slider, and Nebraska takes this one in extras, 3-1.
You have to bring the bat off your shoulders for that. 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 10th, down by 2. Don't take that pitch.
Connor O'Halloran and Emmett Olson matched each other every step of the way, but it was the bullpen that proved the difference. Noah Renard surrendering a go-ahead 2-run home run to left off the bat of Bryce Matthews in the top of the 10th, and Michigan drops a hard-fought 3-1 ball game in 10 to open up this 3-game set.
That's a real tough one because Michigan did what they need to do. They held Nebraska to only 1 run in regulation, so to speak. They came back and put up a run of their own when it was needed, but just unable to finish the job in extras. And for this first game, the fans are chanting "Go Big Red," and Michigan will take on its second Big Ten loss of the season.
Wolverines will look to rebound tomorrow afternoon in Game 2 of this 3-game set against Nebraska. They won't have much time to shake off this loss. WCBN will have the call, as always, from Ray Fisher tomorrow afternoon. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage of today's Michigan baseball game. Wolverines drop a 3-1 contest in 10 to Nebraska. For Adam Bressler, I'm Jared Greenspan. We'll leave you like we always do. Thanks for listening. Have a good night, and go blue.